I'm Kate Beaters, and my website is successcoachingwithkate.com. I'm a certified EFT and certified Meridian Tapping Techniques practitioner. Recently, I was interviewed by Jessica Ortner for the Tapping Insiders Club, and we talked about having confidence during a job interview. Well, Jessica brought up a really important issue. What happens if you don't get the job? So I thought that would be a terrific thing to do some tapping on for this video. Now, before we get started, I want to remind everybody you are responsible for your own mental health. Also, that you've read the disclaimer on the website. You may want to have a pen and paper handy to write down any aspects or issues that pop up as we tap. You also may notice that I use a few additional points than you might, and that's because that's how I was certified to use all these different points. So feel free to either follow along with me or use the points that you're comfortable with. Okay, everybody, let's get started. On the karate chop. Even though I'm not willing to let go of all these negative emotions that I have because I didn't get this job that I really wanted, and maybe it reminds me of something from my childhood or another time in my life where I really wanted something and just didn't get it, I still would like to find a way to love and accept myself. Even though I'm not willing to let go of all these negative emotions because I didn't get this job, and whether that's right or wrong, good or bad, valid or invalid, conscious or unconscious, I'd still like to find a way to love and accept myself. Okay, eyebrow points, all these negative emotions. I'm feeling so many negative emotions because I didn't get this job. I heard there's over 150 negative emotions, and I feel like I must have them all. I'm scared, angry, maybe depressed, disappointed, afraid. So many negative emotions. There's so many, it's hard to even name them all. But that's how I'm feeling right now. Maybe I'm embarrassed and just really worried. I'm really scared, really afraid. Maybe I've got a lot of doubt. Maybe I'm losing my self-confidence. Just got all these negative emotions. All these negative emotions. Okay, everybody, take a deep breath. Okay. Now, you may have had some things pop up. You may be reminded of something that happened to you in the past that you really wanted and didn't get. So write that down. These are things to tap on. Maybe it reminds me of something from your childhood. And I know when I work with my clients, we very often go back to the childhood, to the first time these things have happened, and clear that out. That helps an awful lot with going forward. And if you're still at a really high level, you may want to do that round again to bring yourself down a little in intensity. So now we're going to go on to another round of tapping, okay? On your karate chop. Even though I'm still feeling some of these negative emotions, I'd like to find a way to let some of them go. And I love and accept myself for wanting to do that. Okay, eyebrow points. I still have these negative emotions. Still feeling scared, maybe angry and disappointed, afraid, some self-doubt. How can you ask me to let them go? I don't think it's safe to let them go. I don't have a job yet. So how can you ask me to let them go? That makes no sense to me. If I let them go, does that mean I don't care anymore? If I let them go, does that mean I won't find a job? But the thing is, if I hang on to all these negative emotions, and I act really angry or mad or scared, who's going to want to hire me? Who's going to want to talk to me? Who's going to want to recommend me? So it doesn't seem like hanging on to these negative emotions is really helping me. Maybe it's better to start thinking about some positives. Remember that this company chose me to interview with. Out of all the hundreds or maybe thousands of applications they got, they chose me. They thought I was qualified. They thought I had great expertise and great experience. They wanted to spend the time to talk to me. They thought I was worth it. So that's what I want to focus on. I want to focus on all my strengths and skills. I want to focus on all my expertise and experience. Okay, everybody, take another breath. And you may have had some more things pop up, and that's great. Write those down. Those are things to tap on. Maybe some confidence issues were coming up, and that's a wonderful thing to tap on. You want to go probably back to a lot of childhood things and see if that helps you too, to find out where some of this comes from. So before we go any further, I want to share a story with you. And before I became a practitioner, I was in the business world. And I interviewed for this company, and I really, really, really wanted this job. And it sounded like a fabulous job. I was interviewing with the owner of the company, and I thought the job was mine. He talked to me about what kind of offer I was looking for, when I wanted to start it, all sorts of things. So I thought it was great. Well, lo and behold, I didn't get the job offer, and I was really disappointed. I couldn't figure out what had happened, and I was wondering, did I do something wrong? Was I not qualified? You know, all those negative thoughts started popping up. Well, I took the opportunity to call him and get some feedback. And what had happened is his daughter, who we mentioned a couple times during the interview, who worked for a similar type company but in another state, had decided to move back home. This man had always wanted to work with his daughter, so he took that opportunity. And as the saying goes, blood is thicker than water. So he hired her. That's why I didn't get the job. But if I hadn't spoken to him and gotten the feedback, I wouldn't have known that. I would have thought that something was wrong with my experience or my qualifications or something to do with me. So that's why I really suggest, if you have the opportunity, get some feedback. Very often in companies, they will decide to hire internally, or maybe there's a connection, so it has absolutely nothing to do with you. But then again, sometimes it does. Sometimes you just didn't do enough research about the company or ask enough questions, or maybe they just didn't think it was the best match. So it's really important to find out why, because that will help you with future interviews so you can do the best job possible. So now I want to do a round of positives, and I always call this dessert without calories. And this is great to do when you're preferably at a 0 or if not really low in intensity. Okay, so follow along with me. I'm feeling really great about myself. I'm focusing on my strengths and all my qualifications and expertise. And I know I've got so many of them. I've got so many wonderful strengths. And I know I will find the right job. And I'm going to be the perfect match for the best company. And I see only good things for me coming. And I know I am just fine. Okay, everybody, take a deep breath. So I want to thank you for joining me for tapping. And I want to wish everybody who's watching this the best of luck during their job interviews. And if I can be of further help, please go to my website. It's successcoachingwithkate.com. Bye, everybody.